Hello and welcome to our Evi AI presentation on how to leverage Sales Navigator. So what is Sales Navigator? Sales Navigator is a powerful platform that LinkedIn offers people as a premium. So for example, Steve Alexander, he recently viewed my profile. I can send him a message now, and I can use Evi AI to send him the message. I can pick a template from Evi AI, like a profile view template. Let's see if it'll find it. I didn't over here. I can use my microphone. Thank you so much for checking out my profile. Let me know if you found something interesting.
BOIR. That's the thing you have to.
Just gonna mute everybody. I hit generate. Thank you so much for checking out my profile. I'm gonna press insert, and I can delete these highlights if I want. I'm curious to know if you found anything as a fellow professional in the marketing space. I believe the power of leveraging AI is effective networking. Da, da, da. I'm gonna hit send, and I just sent him a message because he looked at my profile. So in Sales Navigator, you get notifications about different things that people are doing. For example, you might get a notification that somebody shared a post. For example, Ira Zlotowitz, he shared a post. So I click on view and I'm able to drop a comment using Evi AI right on his post. So in this case, I'm going to use this persona called a typo comment that'll purposely leave a typo on his thing here. Ira, great job on the eCourse Summit. The focus crowd really allowed. Da, da, da. I'm going to press comment, and I just left a comment on Ira's profile, just like that. Um, so do you guys use Sales Navigator? In the chat, let me know right now why the typo. I like putting in typos sometimes to sound a little more natural, and that's really a test as well, but you don't have to put in a typo. It's a very slight typo that most people won't even notice. It might be a grammatical mistake. So let me know if you are using Sales Navigator or if you're not using Sales Navigator. Let me know if you're using it. Some people are using LinkedIn Recruiter. You subscribe to Sales Navigator. One of the things that I love about Sales Navigator is that when I save a lead into Sales Navigator, and you can see I already saved 7,938 leads into Sales Navigator, what ends up happening is I can put them into a particular list, and then I can see which people of those in those lists actually posted in the past 30 days. So it'll kind of sort it for me to tell me who's actually being active on LinkedIn. And then I can message them on their profile. I can click here. I can quickly send them a message over here, and I can use Evi AI to send them a message directly. Now, I have messaged this person already March 20th. If I want to check out her recent activity, I can click on View Save Profile. It'll save her profile into Evi AI. And then if I click on these three dots and I click on See Recent Activities, it'll actually load all of her recent activities. This is the only way that I know to be able to do this inside Sales Navigator and to be able to pull up her recent activities just like this. It kind of switches to organic. And so I go in here, I'm going to switch to another persona that I have here, maybe a 20-word persona. I press generate, and Meredith will receive a comment just like that. You see that? She received a comment. Now, if I want to summarize her profile, I click on her profile face, and then I can easily summarize her entire profile. I click on this little drop down here. I click on summarize profile, and it'll read her entire profile, and it'll summarize it into key areas. So for example, maybe it'll tell me what she does for a living. It'll tell me how I can introduce her to people in my network. It'll give me some business intelligence about the person, her career highlights, how I can have conversation starters and what I can say to her. If her cell phone number or email address is available, it'll load it up on top, maybe her website, her contact information. If it's available, it'll load it there. So this is extremely, extremely powerful. And we're going to be rolling out really great new features for people who want to really be more professionals with LinkedIn and take LinkedIn to a whole new level. So we're going to be adding many new features to Evi AI. So I'm curious to know right now, do you use Evi AI? Do you have the free version or the premium version? Let me know in the chat. Evi AI is an AI for LinkedIn that will help you be able to 10x your productivity on LinkedIn by helping you generate ideas, by helping you create content, by helping you create messages, comments, and so much more. Let me know if you have the premium version, you have the free version that you're trying out as a trial. Um, Now, we are going to be coming out with a professional. So this is the premium version. of EVAI. We only have premium available now, but we will be offering a professional version, which will be coming up very soon. And we're going to have this really great special for the first people that join the pro version of EVAI. Um, Now, we also have a community. So if you're not familiar with this community, this is our Evie AI community. So you can easily hop into the community and you can post questions about Sales Navigator. I'm going to say, what is your goal with Sales Navigator? And on the bottom, I'm going to be like, for those of you that want to do prospecting on LinkedIn and want to grow your business, you might want to consider using Sales Navigator to be able to prospect, build lists and leads, and grow your business. But you first have to have a goal. So in the comments of this post, go ahead and let me know, what is your goal with Sales Navigator for 2025 so that we can build out a proper plan to help you be more successful with Sales Navigator. Okay, I'm going to put exclamation mark. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to write LinkedIn tips, and then I'm going to click on GIF, and I'm going to say something like goals. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to press post. And I just posted this link over here. I'm going to put this in the comments for you. I just linked you to the thread. So when you click on that over there, you can easily leave a comment here. If you're not a member of this community, you can't comment unless you're a member. Anyone can see it, but you need to become a member. It's free to join. So we have 612 members. We do have a lot of people waiting to join. So if you're waiting to join and you're pending, just write pending. But I would love for you to put your goal here. And if you put your goal here, other people can network with you, build relationships with you, and put their goal as well. I want to have 100 conversations with sales organizations that each have more than 50 sales representatives so I can help them be able to leverage LinkedIn with artificial intelligence. I want to meet sales leaders at organizations that have more than 50 sales reps. And I'm going to use Sales Navigator to help me find those people, have a conversation with them, and convert them into paying clients. Okay, so I wrote my goal over here. So I want everyone to go ahead and take a moment and establish your goal. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I want to emphasize something. I want to emphasize that if you are not leveraging artificial intelligence together with your activity, you are missing out. Why are you missing out? Because AI will save you a ton of time. It'll save you so much time when you're using AI. You don't have to use AI to generate content if you don't want it. But using AI, there's many different ways to use artificial intelligence in a smart way. Like you can have AI summarize the information while you're speaking to somebody. And like I showed you earlier, give you business intelligence, give you relationship intelligence, give you conversation starters, questions you can ask, and compile all their contact information into one section. Wouldn't it be valuable that for every prospect you're about to speak to or connect with, you have all that information at your fingertips and it gets saved into a list somewhere outside of LinkedIn? Wouldn't it be useful to have that? That's really powerful. So click on the link in the school community and tell me what your goal is. I see a couple goals here in the chat. Copy that goal and put it into the school community if you can, into our community, into the FEI community, so that we can look at those goals and maybe even network with you and help you be able to accomplish your goal. So Jim Baker said, connect and bring in 15 new coaching clients through LinkedIn. When you're setting your goal, your target market needs to be more specific as possible. So use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator search filters to be able to pick your target market. I'll give you an example. Let me go ahead and hit share my screen again. Let me see who went ahead and updated. It looks like Joanne wrote, goal for 2025, get more targeted leads, connect to 2 contacts per day, 5 conversations, 1 order per week. Now, I want you to be more specific with who your target market is so that A, people can see, B, you have the accountability, and C, we can help you with that. And I can also craft a campaign right now at Sales Navigator to help you with that. So I see Mitchell Dallas is waiting to get in here. He's online. He requested 20 hours ago. What I do before I let people into the community is I first check to see who they are, see if they're real, see what our connections are, see if they have recommendations on LinkedIn just to kind of see if they're real. And this person that's trying to join, he really only has 137 people. So I'm not really sure that he's a real person or if he's not a spammer. So I'm probably not going to let this person in unless I kind of get to know them a little bit and I see that they're actually real. So if you want to get into the community, this my goal is to have 600, eventually 1,000 people in here, who are real people, and that's why I'm kind of holding the goalpost a little high. Stephanie said, generate leads and add to my pipeline to create consistent revenue. I want you guys to have a little bit more of a specific goal. So here are the lead filters that I want you to take a look at. There are 34 different search filters inside this technology over here. So look at the company headcount. So remember I said I want people that have more than 50 sales reps. You guys see the company headcount? Let me just make sure no one's in the waiting room. I'm adding more. Um, so definitely deciding how many people work at the company can be really helpful. So maybe you want a small business that has 1 to 10 employees. Maybe you want a larger company that has 5,000 to 10,000 employees. What type of organization are you looking to build a relationship with? Include that in your target. Guys, does this make sense to you? Put a dollar sign in the chat if this makes sense. And I'm going to go through some other search filters to kind of give you ideas for your target. Because if you don't know who you're targeting for Sales Navigator, if you don't know who you're targeting for prospecting, if you don't know who you're targeting to ask for referrals from your network, how are you supposed to be successful? How are people supposed to know who to connect you to? I want people that have more than 50 sales reps. I already got one to sign up to EviAI for 62 sales reps. One. I want another 100 of those next year. And so in order for me to achieve closing 100 deals, I got to reach out to 1,000 people per month using Sales Navigator. I'm going to reach out to probably 800 of those, and then I'm going to use other formulas to be able to reach out to people so I can have 100 conversations, and then it'll lead into 100 clients over the course of the year. So that's my thought process. I want you guys to really think about that. Um, when you're doing your research, you need to be as specific as possible so that you can be successful. If somebody just wrote pending in the chat, Sandra Connor, I'm going to go here and look for Sandra through the list, and I'm going to let you in right now. Let's see. Yep, I see you. SC approved, and then John Stoker approved. I just approved both of you. Okay, let's get back into LinkedIn just briefly. I want to show you something crazy. Tim said, create a sustainable sales pipeline and connect with 20 execs in relocation and schedule 5 face-to-face meetings per month. Incredible. That's an incredible goal. Now, I want you to look at this, the Sales Navigator filters. Now, we do have something that we offer called the Sales Navigator Bootcamp. I'm going to copy the link to the landing page and put it into the Zoom chat so you guys have it. I'm also going to put the link inside our community. I'll put it right over here under where it says Go for Sales Navigator. I'll drop it in here so that you guys see this. What I'm thinking about doing is adding the class. So right now, this is a $3,000 class. It's 6 hours of training on Sales Navigator. I'm thinking about adding this as a bonus for people who sign up to an upgraded version of EviAI. On top of the premium, there's going to be Pro. So I'm going to be adding like 10 different bonuses, and I'm thinking about adding this as a bonus for people to be able to capture that if they sign up to Pro. Because I want to get a bunch of people to sign up to Pro initially. So if you're interested in Pro on top of Premium, so if you have Premium already, there's going to be Pro. It's going to be a little more expensive, but I want to add a significant amount of value for Pro. So the team is working on the landing page for it. I already have the offer ready. So hopefully in the next couple of days, we're going to launch Pro. And for the first people that want Pro, and put Pro in the chat if you want Pro. If you have Premium and you want Pro, or if you have a free version and you want Pro, and you want to get this crazy training, it's again 6 hours of going deep into Sales Navigator. And I probably am going to add a few other things to it as well, like access to a CRM and access to like automations and access to tons and tons of other stuff. And so if you're interested in Pro, just write Pro in the chat and I will add you to my list of people that I'm going to call to make sure that you get the deal, that you know about the deal. So go ahead and do that. For those that are interested, let me know in the chat. George is in the waiting room. I'm going to let George in. Okay, so in terms of like the search filters, let me just quickly break this down for you. And thank you all for writing pro in the chat. For those of you that are super interested in this, I'll make sure to reach out to you later. Your target market for every pro companies, sales rep staff more than 10 or solo entrepreneurs included. Solo entrepreneurs included. But if I'm going to bother having like so I'll tell you guys my thought process around pro. Pro, I want anybody to join pro. But if I'm going to go out there and prospect, I want to prospect and look for people proactively that can sign up 10, 15, 20, 100 people at a time to my software, right? I don't want to just focus on one person, but anybody can sign up to it. For pro, anybody, solo entrepreneurs can sign up to it and they can get all the benefits of pro. Like, for example, you're going to be able to have a phone call with a strategist that will brainstorm content ideas for you 24/7, and they'll ask you tons of questions, and then we'll take all the ideas and then we'll throw it at you and give you a content calendar and a bunch of other stuff. Really, really powerful to get access to that type of stuff. So, yeah, so it's going to cost us more money, so we're going to charge a little bit more, but it's not going to be a ridiculous amount of money. We still want it to be affordable, and we want to give you a full year of access to a bunch of different things, like including training and data and support. And like, I want to go deep with you guys for those that want to go pro. And for those of you that are affiliates, you'll be able to make a lot more money when you're promoting pro instead of premium. Premium was just to kind of get in the door and get our first 15,000 users. Now we want to be able to my goal is really just to get 1,000 pro users in the door over the course of the next couple of months and go deep with those pro users to learn about their business, support them in a very deep level, and give you lots and lots and lots of support and value. Because a lot of the times people, they do things, they buy things, but then they don't use them. I'm guilty of that. Anybody guilty of buying something and they're not using it to its full potential because you don't have the training, you don't have the community, you don't have the support, or whatever it is, or you just didn't know how to do it? I mean, I'm guilty of that 100%. So if you're guilty, you can write guilty or write a G, give me a thumbs up, something. But what I love to do is I love to really give that support to people and go deep with them and be able to build something meaningful. There are a billion people on LinkedIn. If I'm looking for the right 1,000 people, and you can look for the right 1,000 people. I always say if you had the right 1,000 people in your world that were your ideal clients that you can really support and leverage, you can make $1 million. Think about that for a second. If you're looking to make $1 million and make a massive impact, just 1,000 people. I'm not talking about millions. You don't have to serve all 1,000 at once. You can serve 1,000 over 10 years. That's what I did with Ajax Union. I said, I'm gonna serve 1,000 clients. We got to 1,100 clients, and I realized this is not the route I want to take long term. This is not the business. This is like not the thing. Now I want to impact 1 million people, but the way I'm going to impact 1 million people is by first impacting 1,000 and have each one of those 1,000 impact 1,000. You get what I'm saying? Because 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. So that's my route to 1 million. And the way that I learned that is actually from the Bible, from Torah. Because Torah never talks about the word 1 million. It always says 1,000. And when it wants to say 1 million, it says 1,000, thousand. Isn't that interesting? Write interesting in the chat if you find that interesting. 1,000, thousand is 1 million, but you can't even fathom 1 million. Most people can't fathom them. Could you fathom a million? No, but you can fathom 1,000, right? Think about that. Can you fathom 1,000? Of course, I can look through 1,000 leads. I can talk to 1,000 people a year. I do that every year. 5 a day, 20 a week, 80 a month, 1,000 a year. That's what it is. 80 a month is 1,000 a year. So 1,000 is this interesting concept that's doable. You can make $1,000. You can spend $1,000 and you won't go broke. I mean, 1,000 is not a lot of money, but it's enough that when you're spending $1,000, you're thinking about it. You're gonna pay attention. Sales Navigator is about $1,000 a year. So it's like 1,000 is a beautiful, beautiful number that I have a personal relationship with. And everyone here should have at least 1,000 connections on LinkedIn. If you don't have 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, you are not using LinkedIn. Am I right? Just write your right in the chat. If you don't have 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, you're not even beginning to use LinkedIn. Like everyone here should have at least 1,000 connections. If you don't have 1,000 connections, you're not using it. If you don't add 1,000 connections a year, you're not using LinkedIn. If you don't save 1,000 prospects to Sales Navigator, you're not using Sales Navigator. And don't just randomly save 1,000 prospects. Save 1,000 prospects that you're actually going to go after. 1,000 is such a beautiful number. It's such a nice number. It's such a round number. 1 with 3 zeros. Very simple. And so 1,000, you want to really think about this number and really take it seriously for yourself. And here's something else that I've told entrepreneurs, like if it's not really worth having a conversation with somebody if you can't make $1,000 from that eventually, from that conversation. So some people are selling something for like $50 and then there's no potential to make $1,000. I want you to really think about in your business, can you make $1,000 when you have a conversation with someone? Like, what is your product worth? If you close the deal, how much money would you make? If I close the deal for a company that has 50 sales reps and they each pay, let's say $1,000 a year per sales rep, that's $50,000 a year. Is it worth it for me to have a conversation with someone that can turn into a $50,000 deal? 100%. I close 100 of them. That's a very, very significant business. That's millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue. So I want you to really consider, like, if you're setting a goal, what is your average revenue that you're looking to close? What are you looking to close in terms of revenue? That's what I would be wondering for you. What would you be looking to close revenue wise for one client? Gross revenue, not net. We don't care about your profit right now. Like, I don't care about your profit. If you're in real estate, I would say your net commissions, your gross commissions, because you're going to have expenses under your commissions like advertising and your office. Don't worry about that. When you're closing a deal, remove your major cost of goods sold, like if it's not a commission, whatever. But like your primary gross, your gross profit before your personal expenses, or your fixed expenses, what would you generate per client? So for me at Ajax Union, my average client in the beginning was $1,200 per client per month on average. That was my average. I tried to get it to 1,500. It was hard. We eventually did it. And eventually we got it to $10,000 per client, average per client. But it was really hard to get there. And we had many, many fewer clients that we went much deeper with. So we changed our model to have a much higher average client. Now, why is this even important? Because if you're going to be investing in lead generation, you have to understand your ROI. So in the chat, if you'd like, you can put in what is your average revenue per client ideally going to be in 2025? For every client that you close, how much would you ideally want them to pay you? For me, it's $50,000. That's ideal, and it's possible. So, and I want 100 of those. If I can get 100 to pay me 50,000, that's several $1,000,000 in revenue. Right? Does that make sense? Is that making sense to you guys? George says annual. You could say annual. That's fine. Annual. Yeah, we could do annual. So 50,000, 25,000, 10,000, Joe said. John said 15,000. Very simple. Just pick a number. Again, your number doesn't have to make sense. But if it's 1,200, Jim Baker said 1,200 per client per month. You know how many clients you want. That's, you have a goal you want to achieve. Then you're going to need to know how many conversations you're having with those people. So let's go back into Sales Navigator to help you pick the right customer. So the customer has to be able to afford to pay you the amount that you want. So if you're picking a customer that only has one employee, maybe they don't have the money. So I'll pick a customer that has, let's say, 200 to 1,000, 200 to 1,000 employees. Okay, so this way they can make decisions. If you have under 1,000 employees, you could probably make decisions. If you have over 200, you're doing pretty well. Okay, now we're also going to pick our geographic area. Guys, where are you targeting? If you had all the chances in the world to pick somebody in a specific area that speaks your language, that you can maybe visit, where would you pick those people? Like what city, country, state, location, what region, where would you want your people to be ideally if you were going to break it down just to find your most ideal 1,000 people that you want to target in 2025 and go deep with? Where would those people be? I'm going to say New Jersey for me. I'm going to do include just to show you the opportunity. So there's 400,000 results just in New Jersey alone with people that are in companies between 200 and 1,000. Now I'm going to filter it a little bit more, and I'm going to say only show me people that actually posted on LinkedIn. Okay, I don't care about people that didn't post on LinkedIn, because for me, one of my criterias, and again, I want you to pick up your criteria from the filters of Sales Navigator so that you can be as specific as possible. The more specific you are, the more likely you are that you'll be successful in life. Specificity is the key to making sure you have traction, that you have leverage. You need to be specific. Specific, specific, specific. The more specific you are with your goals, the more specific you're going to be with achieving your goals. Would you agree with that? Or do you think having more of a general thing saying, I want clients is better? Write agree in the chat if you agree with what I'm saying. Or do you think I'm just talking crap out of my mouth? And you can say crap in the chat. I won't get offended. Trust me. I've been through the ringer with my ex-wife. You can say anything you want to me. It's not going to hurt me after all the personal development I had to do to deal with all the bullshit I've been told. Okay. So agree, definitely agree. Lol, right on. Specificity rules. Jen laughed. Okay. BB Kelly said, I calculate to draw of 200,000 over 365, 548 per day means I need to clear at least $1,000 a day. Amazing. Okay. Lorraine said, right on, call by name. All right. So check this out, guys. Check this out. There are filters. There are 34 search filters here. So you can pick filters. So for me, I want people that are engaged on LinkedIn. I also want people that are second degree connections. I have some type of way of getting in the door. Do you see that? I have a way to get in the door. Now it brought me down to 8,000. Okay, so now we're getting closer. I have a way to get in the door. You guys get what I'm saying? I have some mutual something. They're not connected to me, but I have a way to get in the door. If I want people that are already in the door with me, I would switch to first degree. I would switch to first degree and remove second degree. And then I can see who I'm already connected to. I have 145 people, so it's not enough people if I'm looking for 1,000. But these are people that I would definitely hit up. They're first degree connections. So I already have a quota of 145 that I can go a little bit deeper with because they work at companies that are 200 to 500. Now, I might want a certain job title, right? What is a job title that you're looking for? Job title is really important. A lot of people don't focus on job title, but I really like job title or function or seniority level. So I'm going to do current job title and I'm going to do like director of sales. I think that's a good one. Director of sales manager, sales manager. So I'll do director. That's going to take a hot second. I don't know why LinkedIn takes so long for this stuff, but sometimes LinkedIn takes a minute. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second to see if it goes faster if I stop sharing my screen. But what is the title of the person that you want to reach? In the chat, go ahead. Okay, it loaded. I'll share my screen. Go ahead in the chat. Tell me what is the title of the person that you want. So sales director. That's a good one for me. I'm going to do sales manager. Sales manager. Oop, I did sales manager. Let's see. Or I could just do function sales. So it could be anybody in sales. I don't know what's going on over here. Why it's telling me now. It's not allowing me to load it still. Guys, what is the function that you're looking for? We're looking for CPAs, vice presidents of sales, Gary said, CEOs. Coach Julie says worked, ignore last message. Cheryl said event coordinators. Joanne says sales and marketing directors. I love that. Remember, the more specific you are, the more likely you are that you're going to get the people that you want. Now, I'm going to remove, let's see, I'm going to remove New Jersey from this. Let me see if I can clear this one out. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. See if I could remove the location from here without removing all the filters. I think I might have to remove all the filters from here. Let me close some of the windows and see if I can get there faster because I want to share this with you guys and show you. When would you use third degree? When I'm out of second degree. I would focus on second degree first. If you can do second degree, dude, do second degree all day. I would focus on second degree. I would first do first degree, the people you're already connected to. Then I would move to second degree. And when you're exhausted second degree, then you move to third degree. Remember, we're only looking for 1,000 people, really. We're not looking for 1,000,000 people. If you're looking for 1,000,000 people, you're never going to do anything. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna restart the search. I'm gonna do clear all. Let's restart the search again. Okay, I just did clear all. We're gonna do function and we're gonna do sales. We're gonna start with function sales. Okay, so I'm looking for people in sales. I'm looking for people in sales. 36 million people. I'm looking for people in sales in New Jersey. So let's go to New Jersey. Let me see. Let's go to geography. Let me close some of these other things that might be taking up resources on my computer. Let me close WhatsApp. Okay, let's see if that'll work faster. All right, now I only have Sales Navigator loaded. New Jersey. Okay, so I'm going to click New Jersey. Perfect. So I just clicked New Jersey. I'm also going to remove some of the extra extensions that I have running here. I'm just going to remove some of these that are on just to kind of see if it makes things go a little bit faster because I have a lot of extensions, as you can see. And sometimes my extensions have a heart attack. And so I just remove a few that it might not be necessary for me to use right now this second. I'm going to remove this one here as well. Remove this one. These I'll leave because these are my personal ones. Okay, focus timer, we'll remove that one. Okay, let's just see if Sales Navigator works faster after removing a ton of extensions. Refresh. Okay, let's see if this puppy works faster now. All right, looks like we're already moving faster. Okay, so I want people that are in sales. I want the company headcount. I'm going to go up a level. I'm going to go 500 to 5,000 in sales. I'm going to pick New Jersey. I have 52,000 right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick second degree. These are people that are second degree to me. I'm down to 9,000. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do post it on LinkedIn. And I am down to 1,500. So this is perfect. This is a perfect list for me to start working. Now, I have to pick the best 1,000 from this list. That means I have to actually review this list. I'm not going to be spraying and praying. I'm actually going to review these people and identify. And do you see the little gold icons for each one of these people? I can use automation to pull all the little gold icons out because those are the people that I really want to focus on. I want to focus on all the gold icon people. So imagine if out of this 1,500 people, and I only focused on these 1,500 that were in sales, between 500 and 5,000 that are in New Jersey, just in my backyard, that are second degree connections that are posted on LinkedIn. George said, will this be recorded? Yes, I'm going to record this and I'm going to put it inside our school community. Okay, so if you're in the community, you're going to grab it in the classroom. How do we pull all the premium users? Jane, you would need to use automation to do that. LinkedIn doesn't really like automation, but there are automation tools that will automatically pull all the LinkedIn users. If you hit me up directly, I can tell you more about that, Jane, and I can teach you what tools to use. And we have several tools that you can use, but I don't really like talking about it in a public setting because if someone from LinkedIn is hiding here in the backgrounds, I don't want them to know that I have, the ability to do that or I talk about it. So I just like to be kosher. You know what I mean? You got to keep things clean. But behind the scenes, I'll tell you the things that you can use to make things go faster and take a little risk. Like the same thing. I'm not going to talk about what illicit plant medicine you could be using to enhance your neural networks and to get over trauma. But if you need to know more about that, I can share my experience privately. Um, what does the gold icon mean? Eugene, it means that people are paying for LinkedIn or their company's paying for LinkedIn. So if a company is paying for LinkedIn, chances are they're going to want to pay for my software as well because our software is just a little bit more and they get so much more functionality from LinkedIn with our software. Eugene says, when would you use third degree? Third degree I would use when I'm out of my second degree connections. Then I would move to third degree. Lorraine said social networks and social workers in private practice. Those are the people she's targeting. Jim said director of operations and partners. Julie says executives and entrepreneurs. See, Coach Julie, I would go a little bit deeper than that. Like I would instead of saying executives and entrepreneurs, I would try to focus on a specific title when possible. Like instead of saying an entrepreneur, I would just say CEO or managing director or president. I would pick a specific title that I would target because it's hard to like the more general you are when you're targeting, the less likely are you going to find people. And then your message is going to be too general for those people. Chaya says, how do you keep track of who you've been communicating with in Sales Navigator in order to know when it's time to follow up? That's where lists come in. You need something called a list strategy. So first you need a Sales Navigator strategy. Once you have your Sales Navigator strategy, and in the boot camp, we teach you step by step how to do that. And for those of you that want Pro, that wrote Pro before, I'm going to throw in once we launch Pro, which is in the next couple of days, I'll give you guys probably like 10 different bonuses and Pro and Sales Nav Bootcamp will be one of them. We teach you a list strategy, how you're supposed to like put up your lists in a way where you'll know who to follow up with because you're not going to want to have 1,000 people in one list. If I have 1,500 people, I'm going to segment them out into different lists based on their role, based on how I'm connected to them, based on how many followers they have for some people, based on how active they are, based on if they're responsive or not. So you're going to have different lists and you're going to be able to filter it out, sometimes based on location, sometimes based on what type of company they're part of or their industry, because you could filter by industry as well. And so you'll have a list strategy and maybe you'll have 20 lists. And then you'll go through, let's say, 3 or 4 lists each day, and then you'll kind of filter through them because there's not going to be a ton of people in each list. And you'll be able to kind of go through the lists, rinse and repeat. If you're spending an hour a day prospecting, that's how you would do it. So the way that I do it, I actually have a person that helps me with all this, and then I put it into a CRM. So the goal for me is to move people from Sales Navigator out of Sales Navigator. Do you know why I want to move people out of Sales Navigator into my CRM? Does anyone know why? Can anyone guess? Loren says paying people. Also, no, not a dating site. Correct. People that pay are more serious about it. Lorraine, have you experienced people thinking that this is Bumble or Tinder on LinkedIn? I'm curious to know. Like I some people hit me up and say, "Joe, you're attractive," and then I just ignore them because I know they probably want to try to monetize my attractiveness in some way, some weird thing going on. If someone's hitting me up and telling me I'm attractive, there's something fishy going on there. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's supposed to chase. I'm not supposed to be chased. So if somebody's chasing me, very unattractive. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going for that. So I totally just block those people. Like if someone's hitting me up in that way, hell no. But I get it. I always tell people, someone did hit me up asking me about my intimacy. Somebody hit me up on LinkedIn. Her name is Sarah. She hit me up asking me about my intimacy, very explicit. I replied to her and I said, "Is this your LinkedIn strategy? Because you will get banned if you talk to people about this. People are going to complain." I said, "There's a better strategy. I can help you." And you know what she said? "I'd love to get on the phone with you to learn the strategy." She got on the phone. She bought our Evergreen networking system, which teaches people how to use LinkedIn. She bought our Sales Navigator bootcamp. She ended up generating $500,000 in revenue from the strategies we gave her because I told her you got to rebrand your company and call it something that's not sexual. You got to change your messaging completely. And she changed it completely. And she started targeting Inc. 5000 CEOs. And she charges them $100,000 a year to help them with their intimacy. And she does it in a way that we explained to her how it would make sense. And some of these people are sold their companies for $50 million. So 100,000 bucks a year to deal with the most, one of the most intimate parts of their life in a very private way is very powerful. Um, Interesting. So yeah, let me see what else people are writing in the chat. People are saying to own the list. Yeah. So what's the reason you want to move it to your CRM? Number one is because you need something called pipeline management. Do you guys know what pipeline management is? You guys know what pipeline management? Do you want me to explain what pipeline management is? Okay. So George says he knows what it is. Chaya says she doesn't know what it is. So John says he does. So let's say, for example, you're selling 2 products or 3 products or whatever, and there are stages you take people through. So for example, in your business, what are the maybe 3 or 4 or 5 stages you take people through? So let me show you my CRM real quick, just to kind of show you what I'm using. So I'm using something called Unlimited Digital Marketing. Unlimited Digital Marketing, powerful CRM. We're actually white labeling another CRM. So we have a very, very stable CRM that we're using, and we just brand it with the Ajax Union logo and all the other stuff, and we kind of give support for this. But Chase, for example, I had a conversation with Chase today, and Chase told me that he's interested in Pro. So I went ahead and added him as an opportunity here in the pipeline. Now I have different stages. I have prospecting, demo, negotiation, and onboarding. So I go through my pipeline every day and identify who's in negotiation that I need to move forward to onboarding, or who's in prospecting that I need to move over to demo. And I can have automations that go out depending on where people are on the stage. Does that make sense to you guys? You need to have something like this in order for you to track things. So I take people out of Sales Navigator, I put them into here once they show some interest. So Sales Navigator is before they even express interest. But once somebody replies to me, so if I go to my messaging, and then I go to accepted emails, and then I see this guy over here, Casey. I sent him a message. I said, "We recently launched a LinkedIn assistant for an organization and they had 62 sales reps, and they all started using it together, and it created a tremendous amount of exposure for their business. Would you be interested in seeing a video of how it works? So he says, I use another tool for automating LinkedIn. I'm actually searching for a new one. Let me know when you can talk. Would be honored to call you. What's your cell? He said, text me and let's set something up. So what I would do is I would take this guy, Casey. I'd go into my CRM. I would search for him to see if he's already in the CRM. If he's not, I would click on add. And now I would add him into the CRM like this. You see the way I'm adding him into the CRM? I would take his information right here, copy it, save it over here. Now I press save. I saved his information in the CRM. When I click on his name, I can easily just call him by clicking on the call number, or I can text him and I can say something like, thank you so much for reaching out to me about the automation tool that you're looking for related to LinkedIn. Do you have a couple minutes to chat today? I'll be more than happy to show you what we're doing, and maybe I can assist you to help you grow your business. Okay, so I just sent him a text message to his cell phone that he gave me from my CRM. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you. Your profile looks super interesting. Joe Applebaum, CEO of AI. So I added that a little more credibility so he knows who I am. And also to push up where it says stop, reply, to unsubscribe, I just kind of pushed that up a little bit more. So the last message he sees is that. Okay. Isn't this incredible how negotiation is misspelled in my stages? Okay. Jen, can you fix negotiation in my stages for the EVAI pipeline, please? Thank you. George says he uses Nimble for it. The reason I like this is because it also allows me to automate posting on LinkedIn, and it creates reoccurring posts for my Twitter. So my Twitter gets updated every day, my TikTok, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook. It's all integrated into this tool. It also helps me with sites, landing pages, calendar. It like basically does everything. It has everything you could imagine in it, and just one tool. Um, he says Nimble, you can pull everything from LinkedIn. We're going to enable Evi AI to connect with the CRM to allow you to pull everything just like that. So that's what we're going to do. So George, we're going to have that integration soon. Julie says, how many people do you have working with you to do all this? I have 5 people working on my team helping me with all different types of things, Julie. But again, it really depends on what your goal is. If your goal is just to speak to, let's say, 1 or 2 people a day or 3 people a day, you don't need a whole entire team. You can use some automation to help you with a lot of this stuff. ISSM platforms don't allow external apps. Some platforms don't, but you can use make.com or zapier.com to help you be able to integrate almost every platform. Evie said, will Evie work with any CRM or just yours? Eventually, Evie will work. Evie AI Pro, not Premium, but Pro will work with every CRM. We're going to use webhooks, which will integrate with every CRM through make.com. Jane says, were you able to text him or is that a separate app? I was able to text him right from the CRM. And everyone that has Pro, that gets Pro, will be able to use this CRM as well for a year. So we're going to, as a bonus on top of the Sales Nav Bootcamp, I'm going to give everyone access. Anyone that upgrades to Pro, within a certain period of time for the first X amount of people, I'll give you a year of the CRM to mess with and use and get used to and support and everything, which is a $3,000 value too, because we charge $249 a month for the CRM right now, or $3,000. So yeah, so you guys will get a tremendous amount of value from Evi AI Pro. That's my goal. BB Kelly says, I have to go, but I'll check out Pro later today. Please send me the recording. I'm in, George says. If there's anything I can really do for you guys, I'm here for you. I want you to know that you're not alone in this journey. I am here for you. I want to support you in this journey. And I know that marketing and business development is daunting. You have to get trained on how to do things. You need support. You need technology. You need access to data. There's so much that you need. And so I want you to know that I'm here for you. I am here to support you over the course of the next year in 2025 to give you all those things, because a lot of the people, they try to sell you something and run away. I want you to know that I'm here for you 100%, whether you need strategy, whether you need support. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these sessions. I really enjoy getting on the computer and showing people what I know, building multiple 7-figure businesses for myself, and helping over 1,100 clients generate millions of dollars in revenue over the past almost 2 decades now that I'm doing this. And so there's nothing more that I enjoy in helping entrepreneurs be able to be successful. So if you're entrepreneurial and you really want to be successful and you really want to be financially free and you want to do what you love, but you have a headache when it comes to like lead generation and that whole part, that whole like, sales and marketing component, and you want to have a handle on it, know that I'm here to support you. So if you're in with me and you're excited about this journey that I'm going to be taking 1,000 people on next year, and you want to be with me on it, I'd be honored for you to be on it and maybe find a few people in your life that you could bring along with you as well. Sandra says, curious, does your CRM also have full back office integrated invoicing and comprehensive email marketing functions? It does have comprehensive email marketing functions, very comprehensive with automations and everything. In terms of full back office, let's chat about that. It does do invoicing as well. You can connect it with Stripe. And we can talk more. It depends on what type of invoicing you need. But yes, it definitely does invoicing and Stripe and all that stuff. John says, awesome stuff, Joe. You've always been an excellent at education. Please forward the pro update. Sylvan said, thanks, Joe. Coach Julie says, thank you for sharing so much, Joe. You're so awesome. I'm thrilled I got to meet you and learn about Evie AI. Just for the reference, it's not Evie.ai, Julie, but thank you for the kind words. It's evieai.com. Because so many people make that mistake, I might change the name to something that doesn't have AI in it. Because also 60% of people that I speak to are just afraid of AI. And most of the stuff that we do is not related to AI. But don't worry, I just wanted to educate you and everyone else listening. Like, it's evieai.com. It's not evie.ai because evie.ai doesn't exist. But it's evei.com. But it's a common mistake that people make by calling our name the wrong name, and then they send it to somebody. Go check out evie.ai, and there's nothing there. So it's evei.com. I've been having my head down and doing a lot of research on data, on how to get you all the right data. So if you have 1,000 people and you need data on them, how do you get that quickly? I've been doing a lot of research on automations, like how do you do all the automations that are ethical automations that are super personalized? How do you set up like voice agents to like pick up the phone? Like if you go to strategy.evai.com, you can talk to a voice agent. So how do you set those things up for your business? So there's a lot that we can discuss and there's a lot that we can do. So I really appreciate you guys connecting with me. If you want to see the unlimited digital marketing offer that we have, it's http://www.unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com. Okay, that's the link. Do you have any special insights for recruiters? Jane says, yes, I do have special insights for recruiters. Actually, recruiters need to be prospecting just like anybody else for potential clients. They need to be prospecting for potential candidates as well, but they need to be prospecting for potential clients and having conversations with them. The goal for you, for a recruiter, is to pick the right target market. Who are the clients that are hiring? Who are the clients that are growing? What are the industries that you have candidates for right now that you can place quickly? So focusing on that and having the right strategy, and then also using Evie AI to help you leave comments on both the candidates, the HR managers, or whoever your target market is going to be essential. A lot of HR managers are all over LinkedIn. And so recruiters especially need to be really leveraging Evie AI in a way that will help them be able to get seen and be able to get trusted and so on. So with that, I want to conclude by saying that the secret to living is giving. Be a giver. Find somebody in your network that you can make an introduction for. Realize that we have a posting party happening on Monday morning at 10 a.m. And I want you guys to join me at the posting party because it's a great place for you to support each other and grow your business together. My goal is to host many posting parties over the course of the next year. So join some of them, build relationships, and check it out. The best source to find out who is growing on LinkedIn is to be able to use their filters. You can use search filters that tell you who's hiring. If you don't see those search filters, I'm happy to show you the search filters to see who's hiring, who's growing. I'm also going to recommend that you get the list of the Inc. 5000. As a bonus for pro users, for the first couple of people that join, I'm going to give you that list, which is a $5,000 value. I'll give you the list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies. I really want to make it lucrative for you guys to realize how much value I'm going to throw at you for the first people that sign up to pro. So I'm also going to include that as a list because you guys should be targeting all those companies that are Inc. 5000 companies. And there are 5,000 of them. So just pick a few hundred of those and then go after them in the right industries. You're going to get so much benefit from it. I know I have. So thank you for being in my life. I appreciate you guys endlessly. I'm going to put this recording inside the school community. You'll see it there shortly. Thank you very much, and I'll see you online. Boom.